Hello everyone, I hope this finds you well. This is just an update and a reminder that the next draft of your research proposals are due at the end of this week. Just a couple things to remind you and really emphasize. Most importantly, please follow the outline that's in the syllabus on pages 2 and 3 as closely as possible. In fact, follow it exactly. Each of those little bullet point headings: research questions, rationale, strategy, context, data collection methods, data sources. These should all be separate, distinct sections of your paper. In fact, you can even use exactly those bold words as your sections, in that order. Keep in mind also, and I still see some confusion with data collection methods and data sources. These are two different things. They are very interrelated. Data collection methods, please remember, refers to how you collect your data. Examples of data collection methods: interviews, observations, participant observations, focus groups, historical methods. These are all examples of how we collect data. Data sources refer to the sources you use to collect your data. Human subjects are a data source. In that case, you want to be specific about what kind of data sources you are talking about, the demographics you're looking at. Are you looking at in-service teachers? Are you looking at in-service counselor educators? Are you looking at people who've been working in the field for a while? What are their characteristics? Those are human subjects. That's a data source. Another data source would be documents and records. So these, keep in mind, data sources and methods are two different things, and they need to be separate in your paper. Third, be sure to proofread your paper very carefully to make sure that everything you do in your narrative section, as well as the references, are in APA format. If you don't have a APA handbook, I recommend any doctoral student have these, particularly in the College of Education. That's what we use for our format. If you're not in the College of Ed, you use a different format, you will still need to use APA. For example, when I submit articles to journals, it doesn't matter how familiar I am with one format or another. We follow the expectations of the journal. And some journals will reject papers without even considering it if it's not formatted appropriately. But if you're in a different college, you're not familiar with it, you can go online. The Purdue OWL, for example, has a pretty good section on just the basics of APA format. You can also go to American Psychological Association, and they will have there an abbreviated format of basic APA formatting, and that will help you enormously as well. You can also find the APA handbook probably on reserve in the library, but you can certainly find it at the library. And last, I've been getting drafts here and there, and some people include a literature review. Literature review is not part of this at all. The outline that I'm giving you is exactly the outline I use for students I advise for their chapter 3 of their dissertation or dissertation proposal, the methodology. And there's no literature review there. So if you put a literature review, cut it out. I don't mean that figuratively, I mean cut it out. Remove it, and then use the space to elaborate and expand on the other important aspects that are required in this assignment. Each of those bullet point headings on pages 2 and 3, for example. If you send me something with a literature review, I'm just going to draw a line through it and tell you to remove it and use the space to more fully develop your ideas. That said, if you have any questions, please call me. You're welcome. Call, email. If you want to drop by the office, that works too. Whatever works for you. I'm glad to talk with you, and I'm glad to help. so you know where to reach me. Have a good week, everyone. I look forward to reading your drafts and having feedback back to you so you can make revisions for your final paper. This does not have to be completed, this draft you're turning in. However, keep in mind, the more work you put into it, the more fully developed it is, the more really useful and substantive feedback I'll be able to provide you with. As usual, I'll be here. If you have any questions, please let me know. Have a good week, everyone. Bye for now.